Hey, you guys, what's up? It's Doug, your host of the Micro Glass Podcast, and today's episode is going to be a very special one. This episode is all about my brand new original anthology film series, The Narrator. I'm going to be talking about the origins of the idea, what episodes have come, what episodes to expect in the future, some behind the scenes stuff, and a lot more. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Be warned. Some of these stories are not for the faint of heart. Some stories will make you laugh. Others could make you cry. But I know there will be at least one that will break your mind and drive you mad. So join me and be taken on a journey that you will never forget.
Alright, you guys, what is up? I am Doug, your host of the Micro Glass Podcast, and today is episode 7, Meet the Narrator. And I cannot wait to talk all about this brand new original character and film series, so let's jump right into this. So, the origin, the idea of how I came up with it, for a while I wanted to do more original stuff. Like, I have fan films on Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow, and from DC Comics, and the director, and HR Blood and Guts from Halloween Horror Nights. Those are fun. Those are awesome. But I've wanted to do more original stuff, and I've done Lunatic 1 and 2, but I wanted to do more. But there was I wanted something where they could all be together instead of just being some random movie I put out. I kind of wanted them to have a purpose. And nothing was coming to me for a while until one night where I decided to watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That movie is amazing, and I hope we get Scary Stories 2 and 3. I hope we get those. That would be amazing. Or a Netflix series or something, something crazy. But we'll see about that. But anyway, I was watching that one night, and when an idea, you just can't think of anything, nothing is coming to you, but then randomly at some point something will just click. That happened. I was watching Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and the idea just came to me. I'm like, that's it. Something about an old book would be really cool, because they have an old book in the movie, and there's stories in there. I'm like, this is a pretty cool idea. So I was like, I don't want it to be like a male version of the storyteller from Horror Nights. I don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. And then I came up with the anthology concept. I'm like, oh, I can make whatever I want. They don't have to connect. They can if I want to. Some of them will, some of them won't. Some of them be a part 1, 2, 3, maybe. Some might just be a part 1 and 2, like a double feature thing, or some are just going to be on their own, like one-offs. And so I thought of the anthology thing, and I came up with the character it's like a creep show, or what's the other one? Now I'm drawing a blank. Crypt Keeper kind of thing, or like Freddy's Tricks and Treats. I think that's what that thing was called, where Freddy hosted, and he would show up before and after each episode, maybe pop in, along the way in the episode, and say some crazy stuff or say what's going on or react to it or whatever. Kind of like that. So I was like, oh man, I want to do something like that. Have someone who's hosting it, who's in charge of it, introduces each thing and concludes it, maybe pops up throughout the episodes. And then I came up with the idea of the narrator, which I think it's like one of the coolest ideas I've ever done. I think it's so awesome. Like I said, I can do it however I want. And each idea is different. It's gonna be so freaking cool, man. I can't wait to expand upon it and make more episodes. It's gonna be so cool. So the look, I wanted him to be vintage but also modern at the same time. Like his clothes are like, he wears like this tan button up shirt with a brown vest over top. And the hair, I was like, I don't know if I want to do my normal hair because that's kind of boring, because I've done that with all these other characters. I want to do something different. So I was like, I'm going to slick my hair back. And then I was like, do I want to wear my glasses? I kind of do, just so I could see. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the glasses off for this, and it'll be cool. It's like its own thing. So there were times where I would do test photos and like that test video. I don't know if that's up on YouTube or not. I don't think it is. But the audio you guys just heard with the narrator, that was test audio. That was like the first thing I ever did, like as far as like his introduction, I guess. And he pretty much says the same thing in the prologue, which was released on the same day last year, 2020. So it's been officially a year since the narrator was revealed. So this was a perfect opportunity to get this episode out on the 1 year anniversary of the narrator that was officially revealed, and it's so cool. I can't believe it's been a year already. And so that's basically his look, and the book concept, I got the inspiration from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark as a way to write different episodes and kind of make them all make sense, I guess, as for like a hub world for everything to just be in. That's where everything comes from, is from the book. The feather pen, I love the feather pen. I love how the book looks all vintage. And so basically the book, he says it in the prologue, he says that the book has been in his family for generations, and such astounding stories have been in this book, or that are bound within the pages. And what's really cool is that every story in the book is written in blood, but it's not just some normal person's blood, it's a family blood. So over years and years and years, this blood has just been collected, mixed with ink, or not mixed with ink, whichever one. I don't think I have confirmed anything, but it's basically blood that writes these stories in this book, and it's passed down from the grandfather to his father, and now him. Now you notice that when he's writing in the book, it's at the beginning, so maybe you could think it's like, oh, it's a magical thing where every time it's passed down, it's like it erases and it starts over with the next family member in line, or that it's just like a magical book and those stories are always in there, but you can never run out of pages to write. So it's kind of cool. Like, I like that. So I have not said he has a name. The narrator does have a name. There's a whole family thing, whole family history that I'm slowly, little bits are going to be sprinkled throughout each episode, which is going to be cool. So as the series goes on, you're not just getting a new episode, but you're also learning about who the narrator is and what he is about. I'm not going to give that away here. So you're going to have to continue watching the series to see what is going on with this character and series. It's going to be cool. So, man, the episodes, I think I might do 4 episodes, maybe 6. It's either going to be 4, 5, or 6 per season. So this is season 1. And with each season, he's going to change and evolve the way that he tells stories. Like I said, he's more modern, but he dresses vintage like. So it's kind of like that. So the book might the book might evolve after a couple seasons, or maybe in season 2. You never know. We'll see. But it's gonna be cool. I've got so many cool ideas in my head about how this is gonna go. But episodes. Now, I will say this: the Closet Creatures was not going to be the initial first episode. I think I had Closet Creatures at episode 2 or 3, but it just happened that Closet Creatures was the first one, and I'm proud of it. It's so awesome. It's so cool. And it's basically childhood fears, like the monster living under the bed or the monster hiding inside the closet, that type of thing. But I wanted to take that idea of your childhood fear, like the kid is always afraid to go to sleep because the monster under the bed in the closet. I wanted to take that and turn it on its head and do a twisty thing with it, kind of. But make it an adult who's afraid of the monster under the bed or in the closet, which I think is really cool. The writing took a little bit because I'm not best at dialogue is not my strong suit. The ideas are there in my head, and I can get them out, but the dialogue is always the hard part. As a matter of fact, I wrote the ending of the Closet Creatures first before I did anything, because I knew exactly what was going to go down. And then, I eventually worked it to what it is now. There were some ideas that were present that I changed. So it's so cool. And let's see, another episode that was going to be, now I don't know if I'm going to do this one. I might wait, but I'm going to tell you this idea. This is a cool one. So this might be a spoiler for the future, I don't know. But one was going to be like the voices. It was like basically like someone who sees hallucinations and voices in his head. So maybe that'll be an episode, maybe not, I don't know. Let's see, let me see what I got written down in my notes here real quick. The behind the scenes of the Closet Creatures. Now, this was crazy how this happened. So I put out a trailer at the end of August, beginning of September, because, I just wanted to film something and get that going. And because I do that a lot. Like when I get an idea, like I film something and then it might be like a long time before, for example, Lunatic 3. I filmed a teaser for it last July. It's not coming out until October 31st of this year, 2021. At least I hope so, on Halloween. We'll see about that, but that'll be for another episode. Spoiler alert, the whole Lunatic trilogy is getting its own episode at some point. We'll see. But anyway, so behind the scenes. So at the end of September on Facebook, there's this place called the Valerie. It's the Valerie Theater. And this place is amazing. And at the time, I hadn't been there yet. I've always wanted to go there. Once I found out about it, it's basically a movie theater, but it's also like they hold stage shows or plays and older movies they show, and other events and concerts and I guess community events or whatever they do. And you can rent the place out, which I really want to do because I got a really cool Joker Scarecrow idea that I want to do with me and one of my friends. We've had this idea in our head for like a long time. We want to do it, so that would be pretty cool to do it, but that'll be another episode, I guess. So, man, the Valerie. So, at the end of September, they posted an announcement that they were looking for actors to be in a play for A Christmas Carol. And I saw that and I was like, oh man, because Because that's a cool story there. And I was like, oh man, that would be so cool to be in that. Yeah, I would totally want to be Jacob Marley or the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come because I can pull off creepy. That's like my shtick. That's my thing. I like all the horror stuff and Halloween and all that spooky, scary stuff. It's cool. And auditions for it because I was really thinking about it. I was like nervous, but I was like, ooh man, do I want to do it? But auditions were during the week that we were going to film the Closet Creatures, and that was the only time really where we were going to be able to do it. And so I made the choice. I'm like, there's probably going to be other stage shows or plays or whatever being put on, and I really would want to be Jacob Marley or the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. So I was like, you know what? There's going to be other plays. I'm just going to skip on it this time because this is probably going to be the only time we're going to be able to film this thing. It was like the second week of October, and I wanted to get it out by Halloween. So I decided to film Closet Creatures instead, and I'm kind of glad because it was awesome. And me and my mom is in everything I do pretty much, whether she dies or not, she's in it. Um, she was in my fan film from like 10 years ago. Dang, 10 years ago. Wow. From 10 years ago now, I guess. With my fan film, one of my fan films on the director with the bathtub kill, which is pretty cool. And she's been in a bunch of stuff. And she's been in Lunatic too. She was the therapist voice there, which was cool. So she's been in a lot of stuff that I've done. And this one, I wanted to take a back seat, and this was all about. This was her. This was like her movie right here. And we shot for like 5, 6 nights, I think. 4, 5, 6 nights. At least for her, it was like 4 nights. I think I did a couple extra days to get like the after credit scene and the narrator stop and the narrator shots. So I had to do a lot of stuff, and it was so cool. It's the longest short film I've ever done at like 23 minutes, and I'm like hyping this thing up the whole time, and it's so cool, and it's oh man, it's just so cool. I had like the short film itself. I put out like promos like every week leading up to the actual release, and then after that I waited like a week or two, and then put out the commentary, or was it the bloopers first? It was either one or the other. I put out the bloopers, and then after that like 1 or 2 weeks, and then the commentary. So I like to do all that. It's so cool to like put out videos about what I've done. And in the commentary, I said I was going to do a full podcast episode, so I know it's like months after that, but here we are. Um, Man, 23 minutes. I can't believe that's the longest one I've ever done. That's so freaking cool. And oh man, what was I just going to say? I'm trying not to lose my train of thought. So behind the scenes, I put in some little Easter eggs, from Horror Nights characters and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I put like a couple director ones in there just for fun. Scarecrow, like Jonathan Crane. Easter eggs. One is obviously that I dressed up like him in the film itself, which was cool. And the bloopers, there's so many bloopers. And I put all the best ones in that blooper reel, which was, I think that ended up being 23 minutes long too, about that same length. So that's pretty funny. Like all the bloopers and just all the craziness and shenanigans that we did behind the scenes, all the laughs and stuff. So it was funny. And there would be times where mom would say a line and I'd be like, again. And she would say it again, like, do it again. Because I want to be sure I get the right performance out of her as, best as we can make it. And it's fun. It's so funny because, like, she'll just be, like, looking at me, like, giving me this look, like, really? I'd be like, yes. Even when we were filming the director thing years ago, she was like, I got to do the same thing? I'm like, yeah, because when I go to edit it together, it's it's you'll understand once you see it, once it's finished and ready to go. And speaking of editing, oh my god, editing this thing was a pain in the ass. So what I have to do, at least this is how I do it. I take the footage from from when we shot, and I took all the narrator clips, put them together, but put a filter on it on my laptop, because I use my laptop, which is the MacBook Pro, and my iPad. And I use GarageBand because I make my own music for my stuff, which is GarageBand is the best on my iPad. It's so freaking cool. So I would take the footage, put whatever filters I need to put on, and then export them and put them in the files on the iCloud, bring them to the iPad where I can like full on edit everything with the music and everything, because I don't know how to do all that with the laptop, how to get all my stuff from the iPad GarageBand to the laptop. I probably got to sync it somehow. But the big thing was the laptop itself. The storage would get full real quick from putting all those clips in there, and then putting all the, just to put a filter on it. Like, I'm not doing major editing. I just wanted to like trim them down so they're short enough, for the clips that I need, and put a filter on them, because I wanted this film to have like a blue hue to it, which worked, which was cool. And it was such a pain in the ass. It was stressful. This I've never felt like this. This was crazy. But once I got it all figured out, I had to really work on this one, because like the storage would get full, and then I had to turn some of the clips to black and white and put a different kind of blue, or make it as close as I could to what I was originally wanting. So it was pretty nuts. It was wild. Me and Mom would be up till like, one night we were up till like 1, maybe 2 in the morning filming, and she had to go to work the next day. I think I was like, oh my god, this is nuts. But it was worth it in the end. It was such a cool shoot, and I cannot wait to film again. Mom's excited. She's always like, oh boy, what I gotta do. And what was funny was, I thought she had read what I wrote for the script. Turns out she didn't. She was just reading her lines. I was like, okay, I thought you read the script, but I guess not, so we're just gonna go with it. So the next one, I'm gonna be sure she reads the script in full this time, so hopefully we'll see what happens there. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And so the story of episode 1 is basically the twist on the childhood fears. Like, a grown adult is afraid of the monster in the closet, and her son comes to visit for the weekend because his girlfriend or wife or whoever is, would I say that she was either sick or she was doing something else, I can't remember. And so that's why he just went there to visit. And then you find out that, oh, how are you and your how are you and your husband Eric? And then she's like, oh, he had to go out of town for a few days, business meeting. And then you see like a quick flash of like, whoa, what was that? Basically to make it seem like she's, lost her mind. She's like drawing pictures. She's afraid to get off the bed. She's always checking the closet. She goes to take a shower. The closet door opens up and you hear like a growl, which was cool. I like how I did that effect. I actually went like, and then just pitched it lower in GarageBand, which was cool. A lot of these sounds and effects, I like how they turned out. It's pretty cool. And so basically, at first, it was going to be like a weekend thing. It was going to be like 2 or 3 days, nights of of a storyline, but I just made it into one. It was easier that way. That's why he says, "Oh, it's the Halloween party coming. You should come. It'll be fun." And like, maybe, I'll come. So I made it all happen within the span of one night instead of multiple, which is pretty cool. Scarecrow cameo where he comes out and tries to scare her, because basically the kind of twist thing is, or what's revealed is that my character, knew exactly what was going on. Like a week prior to the actual events in the film, he talks to her husband, so like his stepdad, about like, oh, look, I've tried so many times. I've tried to snap her out of it. She won't listen. You're her son. Maybe she'll listen to you. And so right when he goes, before he gets there, like a night or two before that, the monsters, the creatures, they take her husband, and that just makes her even crazier. And it's so cool. And he tries to, snap her out of it by scaring her, like, none of this shit's real. What do you sound completely insane. And it just culminates, and eventually, I go and check the closet. There's nothing there. There's nothing under the bed. And so then she's like, look, I'm telling you, it's real. They took him. I'm just trying to protect you, and I'm trying to keep you safe. Please, you got to believe me. Don't go in there. And then he's just like, all right, enough. I'm sick and tired of it. You need help. Monsters aren't real. And then they grab him and pull him in, and then shut the door. They slam the door. So that's how it ends. And what was cool is, after a while, I got a comment on the movie, and someone said, are you going to do a sequel to this? Would love to see her get pulled under the bed, or like what happens if she gets taken, like what would happen. And I was like, I don't know if there's going to be a sequel. There might be one day, but it might be its own thing right now. So you never know. Because I do have an idea for a Closet Creatures 2. That won't be a thing until season 2 of the Narrator. I have a couple ideas for that, which I think could be really cool. So we'll see. You never know what'll happen with Closet Creatures. They might come back. Maybe me and Eric are alive. Maybe I'm still alive, Who knows? You never know. Maybe I died. Maybe they ate both of us, You never know. Maybe it might be about new people. New characters. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. Since it's an anthology series, it's going to be like the same people involved, like me and Mom, whoever else, but we're just playing different characters, which is cool. And what's cool is, recently we've been like doing like housework and stuff, and adding shelves and different decor around the house, and my room's different now. I finally got a desk in here yesterday, which is really cool, so it's not as crammed. So like, it's kind of like with each film the house looks a bit different, which is really cool. So it's like the same setting, but it's different at the same time. So I think that's pretty awesome. Now, we get to the after credit scene. Oh, man. You guys are not ready for what is to come with Narrator Anthology Series, Episode 2, The Broken. This is going to be insane. The first episode with the Closet Creatures, that is the psychological thriller. Episode 2, The Broken, is going to be the slasher. The violent, bloody, gory, brutal slasher, at least how I see it in my head anyway. Like full on blood and gore and all that awesome stuff. We'll see how it goes when they actually go to film it. So that'll be interesting. I'm still tweaking the script. I have the general idea. I might change up some things, but I'm looking to get this out June, July. We'll see. Around that time, summertime, I think it'll be a cool summertime flick. So I cannot wait. I got the teaser poster out. The only glimpse of it besides that poster is the after credit scene, which I do have as its own video as an announcement teaser. So that's going to be cool. I don't want to give too much away. Just know that it's going to be my own original slasher. It's going to be violent, bloody, gory, brutal, all that awesome stuff. So that's going to be cool. Narrator is going to be introducing and concluding it and popping up throughout. That's going to be cool. Episode 3, you guys are getting an exclusive reveal here about episode 3. Episode 3, I don't know when this is going to come out, by the way. I'm still coming up with ideas and an actual plot right now, but I do know for a fact that episode 3 is going to be a full-on comedy. It'll be my first attempt at a comedy, and it is going to be interesting to see how this one turns out. I've got a really cool idea, a couple ideas going for this. It's definitely going to be self-aware. It's going to break the fourth wall, talk to the camera, that kind of thing. So I can't wait to get that one out. I'm somewhat writing it as I'm tweaking the broken script. So we'll see how all that goes. That's going to be awesome. And let's see. All the while, I'm still writing. I'm still getting Lunatic 3, in my head from time to time. That'll pop in, and I'll write down whatever ideas. But hopefully that'll come out by Halloween. We'll see. That might have to be pushed into next year, maybe, because we'll just see. Because I really wanted to get it out this year because 2017, 2019 was Lunatic 1 and Lunatic 2 on Halloween of 2017 and 2019. I would like to get this one out by Halloween 2021 this year because it's like every other year, Lunatic, woo! So we'll see. But if I want this to be good, I might have to push it back because I want to really be sure that Lunatic 3 just works. And let's see the future of, like I said, I think I kind of explained this earlier. The future of the narrator is like I can just keep going for years and years and years and years. And I can expand on it. Maybe one day he'll have a son or a daughter or maybe a brother or sister or something that can take on the legacy. Who knows? You never know. So there's going to be a lot of stuff getting revealed in the future about the narrator and his family bloodline or family history. So that's going to be awesome. You guys are just going to have to watch the episodes and find out. And yeah, it's gonna be a ride, man. It's gonna be a wild ride, and I cannot wait to share all these episodes. I got another episode idea about I want to use my new record player that I got, so I've got an idea for that. I got quite a few ideas, man, and you just never know which ideas are gonna show up. But I do know that it's going to be a variety for each season. You're going to have a slasher or like a violent one, a psychological one, a comedy, drama. You never know. You never know what's going to pop up. But some of these might have sequels. Maybe there'll be another Broken in the future. I don't know. And I'm still thinking of a name for episode 3. I don't want to give that away yet because I'm still getting the ideas for that one. But I think that might be it for the narrator, you guys. I don't want to give too much away now. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the Microglass Podcast, episode 7, Meet the Narrator, all about my anthology film series and original character, the narrator and anthology series. If you guys liked this episode, go ahead and check out my previous episodes of the Microglass Podcast. There's 6 other ones, so go check those out if you want. And if you want to, go check out the Narrator Anthology series. I have a whole playlist of everything that's there. A whole playlist for Lunatic and everything about that is in their own playlist. I do my original stuff like, Narrator and Lunatic. fan films on Jonathan Crane / Scarecrow from DC Comics, the director, H.R. Blood and Guts from Halloween Horror Nights. Go check out Microglass. Ooh, speaking of which, I also have Microglass Music. That's my third YouTube channel where I have fan-made stuff such as drum covers and my own original stuff that I use for my films, which you can find the Narrator official soundtrack for episode 1, The Closet Creatures, on Microglass Music. That is in its own playlist as well. I do all the music for everything I do in GarageBand on my iPad Pro, so I'm so glad for that because it's just so cool to come up with music that you think of in your head and bring it to life and put it in a film. It's so much fun. So go check out all that over there. I also have another channel, my second YouTube channel, Microglass Gaming, where you will find Let's Plays and reviews and random gaming clips all over there, along with Twitch at Microglass Gaming. I live stream over there exclusively on Twitch every Monday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, unless otherwise noted. So go ahead and follow me on Facebook at Microglass, Twitter at Microglass, and Instagram at Microglass Official to get all updates from me on all the stuff that I'm working on, whether it's a movie, video game thing, Let's Play, or music related. So thank you all so much for checking out this episode of the Microglass Podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please go check out the Narrator Anthology series on Microglass Productions. Link will be down below. And I will see you all for episode 8 of the Microglass Podcast. Thanks for listening.